Welcome to The Soft Life, a show redefining success one soft, abundant choice at a time. I'm Megan.
Hello.
Hello. Oh my God, good to see you. We're on Substack now, I guess, right?
Exactly. It's so good to see you too. And I'm glad we're like still able to do the podcast, but we're not side by side, but we are, well, we're kind of side by side in a digital world,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm glad that we're still able to connect from different places.
Yeah, yeah. And now because summer, it's gonna be summer, right? So we can like travel and still do it. And this is
Yeah,
this is season two. So
it
that's cool.
is.
We made it to season two.
I know, just about.
But wait, okay, like it's been a second because you
Yeah,
had a freaking baby.
I know.
So
I
so
know.
we have to I need to know stuff about that. But like,
Yeah.
okay, you have a baby.
Yeah.
Can you see who she is already? Like, does she have a personality yet?
Yeah, it's funny you should ask that because obviously this is baby number 3, which is like old school vibes, right? 3 kids. I mean, literally, who does that nowadays? Like so rare. So, but I really can. And they've all been so different, you know? And I think this one, she is so sweet. She's smiling all the time. My kids have always been pretty smiley, but this one smiles like all the time.
Sure.
And she's really like chill. And she only cries if there's something like discomfort,
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
but otherwise not really. And she's like, we whenever she cries or whenever she needs anything, she gets attention really quickly, and so really she's really chill and great. She used to have these like terrible tummy aches, and she has a dairy allergy, which is supposed to be like a massive thing for children, but hopefully it will disappear when she
Yeah.
reaches a year. And I mean, who wants to like have a dairy allergy into adulthood? So
Yeah.
I'm really praying for her.
I
Thoughts and
pray too.
prayers.
Good.
Yeah, exactly. Thoughts and prayers that she will like drop this when she's 1. So she used to have these like horrible tummy aches. And so she would like cry for like an hour, not like, hardcore colic
Yeah.
style, but I knew something was going on.
Yeah.
So and then that was really it. And now she's just like proper smiley all the time. Actually, can I ask you something, right? So she's so smiley. And I said to my partner, like, we should call her nickname Happy. Okay. And then he was like, no, because I don't want her to think she always has to be happy. And then
Oh.
I said to him, no, I think that I said, obviously that's a possibility, but I think she's more likely to be happy by that, like that disposition, have that disposition. And it made me think like we're like in 2 camps. I don't think it's like, half glass full, half empty. I don't think it's about that, but like, where do you sit in those camps? Because I feel like it's kind of philosophical, right? He feels like that name will be like potentially like a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And then I think that name is more likely to make you more happy. What do
Right.
you think?
Oh my God. I instantly am in his camp.
Oh my God, no way. I thought you'd be in mine because you are like so positive in the most lovely way.
I am positive, but like also I really think there is something, especially with girls, that like there is this pressure to just like be on autopilot and appear fine, especially with girls, and to
Yeah,
like
to be like
people
that.
please. Like I'm 41, so I actually do think it's changing dramatically now. But for how I grew up, there was that pressure. And yeah, I just don't let's like minimize that pressure.
That's
It's
so
not healthy to be happy all the time. You shouldn't be happy all
No, it's so true. But I was like, it's a cute name, but it's funny you say that. Okay. I'm surprised you're in his camp. You're terrible.
I know, sorry. What about like Lucky? I think Lucky is a cute name.
You know what? My friend has a kid called Lucky and he's so cute. But you know what? I was speaking to another friend about it, and her sister is called Sunny. And she said her sister is definitely quite sunny and like a bright personality. So she said it's worked out well. But there's a difference between happy and sunny.
Definitely. Sunny is appropriate. I love the name Sunny, but Sunny
Yeah.
seems more like versatile
Yeah.
than a happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Happy is loaded.
Okay. All right. All right. You're
Sorry.
right.
Sorry to like dash your
No,
dream.
you're totally right. You're totally right. I kind of thought, and he was like, no. But I was like, maybe we should call her Sunny because she's just literally smiling the whole time. And she does this thing where she kind of sticks out her tongue and it's like really hilarious. She's like,
Sunny. And maybe she's a Sunny.
yeah, maybe. But yeah, you know what? I'm surviving. I had the winter for the like 4th trimester, as they call it, postpartum. It was a lot, but my mum came over and I just got to like cuddle up with her in bed and, just enjoy it and chill out. It's my first like winter baby as well. So I had a spring baby before that, and then my
Okay.
first was a summer baby. So,
Okay.
It's
I
nice.
like that
It's
update.
good. I'm enjoying it very much. How are you, my dear?
Yeah, I've been good.
And you know what? It's funny. I was going to ask you. I was just thinking about this because I was talking about the different personalities and stuff of my kids because they're just so different, and obviously, right? But just the stark personality, I think, kind of comes out earlier than we think, rather. So, what were you like as a baby or like a child? And do you feel like there's key parts of what you were like as a kid or child that like has stayed with you until now, or things that have changed? Like, what were you like as a kid? I bet you were like sunny all the time.
You know what? I was pretty sunny. I was always like jumping around and like doing dances like as kids do.
Yeah.
But I also like I actually remember having a fair amount of anxiety. Like maybe that's normal for a kid, but I just remember being not OCD because that's like a diagnosis, but I did all these like weird quirky things. Like I
Tell me
remember
more.
like okay, this is really weird and like wrong. But like if I thought someone on the street, walking on the street, I grew up in Manhattan. If I thought someone coming toward me was ugly, I would I know, it's like, can I even say this? I would hold my breath until they walked by. Is that
Oh
so
my
weird and
God.
wrong? Like, maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't know, but
That's hilarious.
I don't like whatever, like ugly, whatever. I don't know what that meant
Well,
back
not attractive for you,
for me as
basically, because
like a
obviously, yeah, like your cup of tea. Yeah.
isn't that so weird? And I just remember doing that and taking it really seriously to a point where
Kids.
like I sort of like had to do it. But I'm not
Yes.
OCD now at all. And
Yeah.
I'm not like I don't have
Yeah.
those quirks, but that was one thing I did. And like I feel like I had some weird fears. I kind of feel like when you're a kid, you learn about things and you think about them at night in the dark when you're falling asleep and it's like
Yeah.
scary. Like normal
Very.
things, like outer space. Like I remember
Yeah.
learning about outer space and just being like terrified.
Totally. I mean, even when I think about it now, and people talk
Ugh,
about the black, what's it called again? See, I can't even remember. Obviously, didn't
black
can't talk
holes
about
and stuff.
the black hole, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, no! Like, and that's why when people are obsessed with like space, I'm like, there's so much going on here. Like, I don't want to, like, I can't cope with it. But
Space is
totally, I hear
terrifying.
that.
I talked about that with another mom at a school parent night this week because I think that's like a common thing, but not just outer space, just like even finding out about what quicksand is. And I
Yeah.
remember just lying in bed at night and being like so scared that I was going to encounter
Yes.
quicksand.
Oh, when you'd watch those films and people, that just never happened in the UK because I don't think, I mean, maybe some parts it would like glaze over, like the a lake or whatever. But when it would be like frozen over and then people like in their ice skates and then like they fall down, you know,
That was scary as a kid. You'd be like,
proper.
is that going to happen to me? Yeah. So just, I don't know. I was like such a happy kid, but I just remember these like weird
Yeah.
tendencies I had.
Yeah.
What about you?
It's fun. It's funny you say that because now I'm thinking about weird things that I had. I had this really weird thing as well, where if I was in a car, so when we'd be like driving back from my nan and granddad's house to my mum's house down this long road called Brixton Road, and I would look at the lamps, like the street lamps,
Yeah.
and I would count how many.
You know what? I did
That's
stuff like
weird.
that too. No, I think maybe
But
it's like
if I forgot
self-embrace.
the amount that I'd count, I'd be like, "Oh no, I forgot the amount," and then I would like start again or whatever, and feel
It's
like
like
bad that I didn't
OCD
like
type
count
thing.
all of them.
But you're
Yeah,
not OCD now. I think it's like a
no,
processing thing. I think it's like how a brain is developing.
yeah, I think it'd be interesting to learn a little more about that because it's kind of weird, isn't it? Like, I don't know why I would count them, or the same with the cracks in the pavement.
Yep.
Like, I wouldn't want to put my shoes on there. Or I'd want to like make sure that my shoe didn't
Didn't
go on the
touch it.
crack. Yeah,
Okay. I this is making me like feel more like this is just a normal kid thing. As you grow up,
yeah,
you're just
yeah.
figuring it all out.
Yeah, there's a lot of like things. But you know what? For me, I, as a kid, was so shy or reserved. Like, I don't know which is the right word, but I was so painfully shy. Like, I would not
Oh,
talk to new people. I remember when there would be like dance parties at school when I was like 7, 8, 9, like totally opposite to my daughter, who's like so full of life and confident. Like, I would be in the corner. I remember like holding my mum's hand, and my mum would say, "Go and dance with everyone." And I just like couldn't do it. I was so shy. And I think I was different though to my family and friends. But
yeah.
if it was like a new environment, it would just wouldn't work. And then my mum always said to me that when I was a kid, I was very selective over who I would want to hold me and stuff like that. The new baby's like nothing like that. But my mum said I wouldn't like, if someone was trying to get my attention, I'd be like standoffish. And I remember thinking, oh, thanks, mum. But it's weird because in adult life, I'm so opposite. I'm
Yeah.
like not reserved at all.
No.
So I wonder, like, did I become less reserved as a means to survive? Because if you're too reserved or like shy, it doesn't really help you much in life. Or was it just like part of like my growth as a person to be more me? Did I grow into myself or did I grow
Yeah.
into the environment? I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's that yeah, you're not shy. So that's surprising to me that like you were born that way.
Very shy, seriously, like so shy. And I remember the moment when I changed as well. I worked in a pub. So I was 18. It was called the Hope and Anger on Acre Lane in Brixton. And I worked in this pub, and you can't work in a pub and be shy and reserved.
No, yeah.
Like you have to talk to people. And then obviously it's weird that I chose journalism as a career. So like I'm so not, I can talk to anyone because you have to, right? You have to
Yeah.
just pick up the phone all the time, walk up to strangers. So again, I'm like, what, you know, and it's funny because now you have a child because you reflect on so many things and you're like, you know, who am I? What am I doing? Like, am I who I was always supposed to be? Or like, am I a reflection of, you know, a time or a space or being here or being away from home? It's like, it's so interesting, like to
Yeah, it
think
is
about these
interesting.
things. I
And
wonder
you
what my next chapter will be like.
it does make you more reflective, huh, to have a baby or to be in it.
Definitely. And I'm
Yeah,
turning 40.
I know. You're turning 40 in July.
Yeah, yeah, early July. I must say, actually, I have to say, I think my birthday, this maybe sounds arrogant. I'm like, I'm not shy. I'm like, oh my God, the opposite. No, I'm joking. I must say, my birthday, I think I have the best celebrity birthdays than anyone on earth.
Who
Okay.
else?
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
Okay. Princess Diana,
No, that's a good one.
Pamela Anderson,
Good one.
Missy Elliott.
Ugh, the coolest.
I know, exactly. And then this one's like my favorite, Debbie Harry.
Oh, those are good.
Right? Some
Alive
like cool ass women.
Yeah. Had you just like Googled that? I've like never Googled that.
Well, I did it like with my kids once in the car, and then
Oh,
they were
that's
saying
fun.
theirs, and like theirs were not great. One of theirs was like some random YouTuber, and we were like laughing. I was like, I have
Great.
no
Yeah.
idea who that is. But I think yeah, so I'm excited about sharing birthday with those badass women.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be 40, which I'm excited about. We talked about this already in the podcast. You said it's not really like that deep, right? If I remember, was that how I just like basically blocked
the
out any
perfect way to
negative
summarize
space?
it. Yeah, no, it wasn't that deep. It's like I'm 41 now. I'm here. I'm like so happy to be here. And like,
Yeah.
you know, it's great. 40 is awesome.
There is something weird to say 40s. I'm in my
I know.
40s. That's
know.
the thing that I've thought, like 40s. I remember like when I was reading a book when I was like 21 and someone was described as being in their 40s and me like, oh wow, 40s, you know, that's like a grown up. And then it's so full on when you don't feel like such a grown up. I still feel like that kid doing like cartwheels outside my nan and granddad's house, like dancing to myself.
I think this is what it is. I think we're going to be 80 and be like, what? Honestly, right? Like, and maybe that's
Yeah.
the gift of human consciousness or whatever. Like you always feel like you, hopefully. You know?
Yeah.
But here's a question. So you're almost 40. You just had a baby. You had your third baby.
Yeah.
Do you find that and you know, like giving birth is this experience and there's nothing like it, no matter how you do it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone's
Yeah.
birth story is different. And it's just something that I find comes up a lot when I'm with other friends who are mothers. Because oh my God, what a thing to make it through. What a thing to achieve, to have
to create life.
You can't not talk about it. It's just like you talk about it, you know, and you always talk about it.
Yeah.
But you find that there's like a competitive streak. I think I can put it that way. To sharing / comparing birth stories.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there is, and I'm part of a few different mums groups in Harlem now, and like I did a couple like courses and things like that, and I think there definitely is. I think I don't know if people mean to do it, but Okay, let me give you an example. So I had my first child when I was 25, just turned 25, right? And then I've had this one when I'm 39. So it's like very different. And also all of my three kids are in a different generation. So Gen Z, Alpha, and now Beta.
Oh,
So
really?
it's like super
Wow.
interesting. Yeah. So I feel like I will eventually when they're older, so I have a really unique like perspective on this. But you see and a lot of the older mum vibes where they say see a lot of people say things like, oh, I'm glad I did it older because I'm not like trying to sort myself out or like trying to like chase my career. And there's a reason why that doesn't sit well with me is because they don't know what they would have been like, and then also inadvertently diminishes the personality or the experience of the person who did it when they were younger. So
So
me,
you
for
feel
instance,
a little diminished because you did it when you were 25.
yeah, and it's almost like by trying to justify the fact that you did it when you're older, which comes with its own problems, as we know, right? The pressure of it and like, on your body and everything, right? Or finding the right partner, you're saying, oh, well, if I did it when I was younger, this is what would have happened because you just don't know. And also it feeds in for me to that stuff about teenage moms and like all these types of tropes about people who do it when they're like younger or whatever. So maybe I feel a little sensitive to that. But again, it's because you just don't know, right? And also for me, I was not like that for me. Like I didn't feel like, oh my gosh, all my friends are like doing all of this and creating these lives and I'm just stuck here. For me, that was actually one of the most like flourishing and important stages of my career development actually, and started a business like not too long around sort of like after that. So I don't think that's true. And then you also have the sort of like the young mum vibe where there's just all fun and crazy and like all over the shop. And some people play into that trope as well.
Right.
When actually sometimes you can be a young mum and be really like focused and like in tune with it and like worried and anxious. So
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
there seems to be accounts where it's like you're more older and anxious or you're more younger and this. And to be honest, it's just like personality. So I think in a way, inadvertently, we put down other women's perspectives without meaning to. But maybe that's me being sensitive. But I also find it similar when people are talking about their birth stories. I'm a bit like maybe on the harsher side because of my story. So I had three cesareans, one emergency, one elective, and third one I was geriatric. So I had to have elective.
Yeah.
And I don't say natural birth. I don't think it was natural. I'm sorry. It was an operation where my baby was cut. My tummy was cut and a baby came out. It was not a birth canal story, but that's like sometimes a little controversial, you
Yeah.
know?
Okay.
But yeah,
I say natural because it's birth. Like I know what you mean, obviously, but I
yeah,
feel like because you did have three cesareans,
yeah.
your take on what's natural and what's not is different than my take. And
Tell me
I
why
had
you say that. What's your story?
well, my story is two vaginal births
Yeah,
that were like really fast and smooth. And so
yeah.
I
You
don't
had the dream, babes. You had the dream.
well, yeah, I mean, it hurt like, it like
Oh
hurt
no,
like my
I mean,
guts were being stabbed.
I can't
But yeah, it
imagine.
is a dream. But maybe that's why this is going back to what I was asking you, sort of like I don't want by saying my birth story, which is true, I don't want it to come off as some like flex.
Because in a way, this is kind of interesting. It's easy for me to say it wasn't natural because mine wasn't natural. But if you're saying, oh, I had a natural birth and Crystal didn't, you do come across, yeah, like
Yeah,
in a way, it's difficult for you because you can't say that because you'll get judged.
I'll get judged. And I also like don't believe it. But
Yeah.
yes, we don't have to talk about that. I wouldn't say
No.
it. Yes. But
Yeah.
also I also think what you said was right, that there isn't necessarily a competitive streak when people are talking about their birth stories, but our birth stories are also different.
Yeah.
And people just want their story to be valid and their choice to be valid.
Yeah.
We all do.
Yeah.
And so I think
Yeah.
we all get a little, not everyone, but sometimes you can get sensitive about what
Yeah.
your story is up against someone else's story.
I do think this whole thing about like natural though is an interesting thing because I feel like we are too sensitive sometimes that we can't just say something wasn't a natural birth.
Well,
Or maybe, or well, actually, maybe I'm just being old fashioned. Maybe the language natural is not a thing. Maybe it's vaginal or
Right.
cesarean.
That's a good point. Maybe natural isn't the word, isn't the thing.
Although I still say it wasn't natural. I'm like, I had all the drugs
Well, that's
and,
normal. Okay, fine.
that was just for me. But you know what, though? My first birth was very traumatic. We can talk about it more in another time, but the heart rate thing, his heart rate, and like he just came out so quickly. It was like full on. So maybe in a way, the way that I celebrate my story as medical, cesareans, all the drugs is a way that I cope with the fact that it was scary and horrible early on. And I did want to have a natural birth. All of my families have had natural births. My mum had a child at home. So I come from all of that kind of like background. And then mine was so medicalized. And now I don't want to have a natural birth because I've heard how difficult it is. And cesareans are very difficult, but natural, I mean, there's a lot going on there. So now I don't. But I do know just from speaking to women and having honest conversations with my friends that it is epic when you push that baby out of the vaginal canal. Like it's supposed to be a relief, an overflowing of love, like an incredible feeling. And you don't get that when someone is cutting you and there's like 20 people in a room. Like you don't get it, babe. You definitely get like a rush of love. Actually, not even everyone gets that naturally.
Right. It's
Actually,
all
let's just
different.
let's just reverse there. But I think when you push that baby out of a canal, that is a unique experience to the baby coming out. I hope I'm not going to have a lot of people hating me now, but I honestly just think the way they talk about it coming out of the birth canal it sounds like a very different experience.
Yeah, it is a
And
different.
I want to honor that, to be honest, without
but
putting myself down.
right. But yeah, I guess the issue, is it's so hard to be a woman and giving birth is such a epic thing no matter how you do it. It's just like of course there's sensitivity around it and the language.
Yeah.
Right?
But
'Cause
you
we
know
have to, like,
what?
protect ourselves as women, however you do it.
Yeah. But you know what? Huge props for risking your vagina. How about that?
Yeah, mine is pretty stretchy.
I don't know. I just think it's an incredible thing. I think you're right. Like,
It's all
however it
incredible,
comes
and
out
a
is great.
C-section is incredible. I was born a
I mean,
C-section, and that's
it's
like
pretty like
all incredible.
grim. It's
We
pretty
have
grim.
to acknowledge how it's incredible and how a woman's body to do that is just
Yeah. And you find these similar arguments with the breastfeeding and
yeah,
the formula. And like at the end of the day, whatever works for a baby and you like works, I've stopped breastfeeding, not because I can't do it. That's another thing you see on the chats. A lot of people are like, I had to do formula because I wasn't producing enough milk. And I'm like, you don't have to say that. Like, okay, maybe that's your story, but by saying that, you're also like being a little bit like being formula is wrong. You know what I mean? So for me, that's the key point as well. There's a lot of justification for our decisions when we don't need to do that.
yeah, you don't
So
need
for
to do it.
me, yeah. So for me, with this last baby, I've stopped. She's 5 months. I've stopped breastfeeding her because I don't want to do it
Yeah,
anymore.
that's fine.
Like,
And
it's,
it's fine.
I was feeding her 17 times a day when I checked on this app, and it's like, I can't do anything apart from this. And that's okay. It doesn't need to have a big justification.
No.
However you keep your child alive, and keep yourself mentally sane is okay.
Well, maybe this is a good time for me to say that I was breastfed until I was 3.
Legend.
I mean, no, it's like crazy. And I feel like I tell this story all the time. Have I said this before on this podcast? And
You've
I like
never said it, but I think that's how a lot of people did it back in the day, babe.
it's very old school. But can you imagine me as a 3-year-old? I was like so tall.
Oh my God, with your teeth.
People are probably like, like that's I don't even know. Yeah, whatever. Whatever you do to keep your child alive. It's a hard thing we're trying to talk about maybe because there is so much judgment and I would never want to
know.
add to it,
No, you
But I
definitely
think it's
don't.
worth trying to talk about.
I hope I'm not sounding too judgmental.
No,
I don't mean to be. I just want women to just like stop justifying, stop feeling guilty, and also inadvertently making other people feel like what they've done isn't as valid.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It is what it is, right?
It's all valid. Yeah.
Yeah. But also, I just want to move on. So, how is everything going in the entrepreneurial world? So, season 2, it's been a good few months. How are you? How are you coping, like running your own business?
Well, I guess you know what? I guess I can say I'd literally like I was gonna say I'd rather die than work for someone again. But no, that's not true. That's hyperbole. But I really am enjoying working for myself because I've only ever worked for people and like amazing people, might I add, in the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but this is just such a cool new experience. And I love being able to be flexible. Like I made granola bars for my kids like before we recorded our podcast
Yeah.
because I don't know, it's so expensive to buy all these bars that they eat,
Yeah.
with,
Yeah.
like the cute packaging. So I started making mine. And that's not for everyone, but I love like cooking and
You
I
wouldn't have been able
enjoy
to do that
just
if you were
yeah, like it's
working
like
in
little
that full
things.
time
And
job
and
like
those
that.
little things, like, add up to your life, so I'm, like, really grateful to have a little more flexibility to do cool things that I wanna do,
Yeah.
you
And
know?
I also saw that you were on Good Morning America as well, which is
Today
like
Show
so cool.
Today
Sorry?
Show the Today Show. Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
Today Show, sorry. Look at me getting my American broadcast. Sorry about that. But they're it's basically, people who don't know, we have one called Good Morning
Yeah,
Britain. Sorry, I'm like completely
morning
getting mixed
shows,
up.
yeah.
But like for people who are not in America, this is like bloody huge. So what was it like being on there and stuff? Because also
Um,
that's like fantastic, like press in
it
terms of
was great.
growing a business.
Yes, it was great exposure. I was on a business segment with Emma Grede, so that was, like, so cool because she's, like, incredible. It was great exposure, but, like, I have to say, like,
Yeah.
amazing exposure, like, boosted sales, boosted visibility for sure,
Fantastic.
but you're still building something, and it's still, like, there's just the day could be endless with, like, the amount of stuff you have to do to build your brand and, like, get it out there.
Yeah.
And actually this is kind of soft life-ish, but we talked about how part of the soft life is not working yourself to the bone all the time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um and but there are trade-offs. And this is still me figuring out how to live the soft life because we're both figuring it out still. That's like the point of this podcast, I think.
Yeah.
But basically, like, I work for myself now. I don't have a salary like I did before. And so there are things that have to fall off, you know?
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
my whole adult life, I've worked, I've had a salary, I've been able to just sort of buy something when I have a whim, you know?
Yeah.
So there's this pair of jeans I wanted. They're $300. Men never pay that much for jeans because women pay more for everything, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
can't get them. I can't bring myself to get them because I don't make what I used to, you know? And that's all
So
part of this. But
yeah.
there's trade-offs. Obviously, a pair of jeans isn't gonna change my life, but, like, if you love getting dressed in the morning, it is fun to get a new pair of jeans.
Totally. Yeah. And also it can really impact on, this is someone who for like 6 months was wearing the most grotesque maternity wear ever. Like what you wear like completely impacts how you feel. Like half the time I didn't even want to go out. I was like, I'm just like, I feel like awful. So like, sorry, don't mean to make it about myself, but like
No, no,
being
no, this
able
is
to,
true.
if you
It
like those,
matters.
if that's, it matters, especially if it can be an extension of your personality. So what I'm hearing is that with so much freedom and exploration and entrepreneurship, um, comes responsibility in the sense that you can't spend that money because you have to watch money a lot more. You don't have the income that you had before. So it's a little like harder.
Yeah.
So in a way, how does that feel for you when you think about in terms of the soft life and the things that really matter for you? Where do you land after you've gone through those emotions?
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess the interesting thing is I land wanting to keep doing this, you
Good.
know? So yes, there are trade-offs for sure, financial trade-offs,
Yeah.
but I'm really, like, still in it, and I wanna see how far I can take this and how big I can make it, and that feels better than, like, not getting those really sick jeans.
Yeah.
I really want,
Exactly.
but,
Yeah.
trade-offs, like, that's part of being a grown-up, I guess, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think you're right. And I think also like when you run your own business, like it takes a while to get it going. It really does. And then like for instance, getting that segment, you know what I mean? That's like,
That was great.
people like try and pay to get those kinds of things, which they can't, you know what I mean? So that sort of like free press is worth a huge amount of money as well, if you look at it from those like
That's
economic points of view. And also being able to have more time with your children. And I say this as someone who I know for a fact this is my last child. So I am like, it feels different. It
does
feels
it?
really different in that way. I mean, it's not like I didn't savor and enjoy the moments of my other
Yeah.
two, because I just love babies and they're so freaking cute, just walking around, you know what I mean, with their big tummies and everything and their little fat rolls, and smiling and everything.
They're
They're just
so
so
cute.
cute. I love them. And I love getting them dressed and stuff and singing to
Clothes,
them. And then, you know what I mean? They're like my number one fans. They
the
think I'm
best.
like awesome. And I'm like, I'm not that great. And I'm just like doing all my like crazy dancing. So, I've always loved it. But like, there's something about when it's the last, And so every moment I'm reminded, like, this is the last time I'm going to see a child of mine at this age. And I think it's important for us to think like that as much as we can when we're with our children, especially when they're being a little bit annoying or when they're
Yeah.
just showing that wondrous spirit of like some crazy, like a leaf that they've just seen. Like, this is beautiful. And it goes so fast. I have a 14-year-old babe.
Yeah, it goes fast. But this is interesting because you like remember a while back when we were, a few episodes back, we
Yeah.
were new to trying to work our way into the soft life. And you said your issue or your roadblock was trying to, work less, sort of.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing now that you're like really savoring this break you're taking. And you are taking a
Totally.
break, right? Like
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah, I'm taking more maternity, self-funding it now with my partner. And yeah, I'm like enjoying it. And also I think maybe this also comes of age potentially. Like I'm more picky. Actually, that's not true. I was very picky when I was younger about what I wanted to do, but I've done a lot of stuff, and my career's been long. And so the next steps, I'm taking my time to think a lot more. Whereas maybe in the past, I would have like
rushed it.
a few different opportunities. I'd be like, this is interesting. That might be a good backup. This is kind of cool. This will add to my skill sets doing these few different things. Whereas now it's like my skill sets already, like I have all of that. So really, what do I want to invest my time in that allows me to also be there for the things that I care about the most, which is my friends and family.
Yeah. That's a great update.
Yeah. So I think we've come to the end of the show though, which is crazy. It's moved so quickly. And it's so good to see you.
Wait. Soft life challenge, right?
Oh gosh, yes.
That's how we end each one.
We do. Yeah. So do you have a challenge? Because
I have a challenge for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready? Yeah.
The challenge is to not look in the mirror for a day. And I say this because this is coming from something I'm like grappling with.
Yeah.
We're on Instagram, we're on social media, we're looking up celebrities on red carpets, and the level of scrutiny on appearances is like, it's just sometimes it feels next level,
Yeah.
and self-scrutiny. So I did this thing where I like the way I look, not every day, but I'm like everyone else. I have my confident days, I have my not.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just find that like sometimes you can fixate on something in your appearance.
Yes.
Like, how your arm looks in a picture or a zit or whatever it is. Whatever it is.
100%. 100%.
And I think just sort of not fixating makes you more in the present. So I've done things where I don't look in the mirror for a day, and it's just sort of like, it's nice.
This is going to be a real challenge because I have so many mirrors in my house, which is awful. And also my partner takes the piss out of me because him and my daughter, my second daughter, my beautiful middle child, beautiful, I can't believe I said that. My like clever, she's clever.
Clever, yes, beautiful, yeah.
Brave. She, me and her were always like in the mirror doing our dances and we're like this, like we're really like ridiculous. So, and even with the new one, we're like, look at you. We're like absurd. So it's actually going to be really hard to not be like,
it's hard.
It is because I have too many. I've got like two that I can see like right here, like big ones, like oval shape.
It's hard, but I find that it's a bit of a relief.
Yeah, totally. It's true. I don't want to be looking at my face all the time as well, because you're right. Sometimes I'm like, even before I came in the call, I was like, look at this, or like, how do I do this? My sort of Rihanna style big forehead.
We all do it. No, you
It's
look
now fashionable. It's now fashionable now, having the Rihanna style forehead.
wait,
But
some gross man on the street trying to pick me up told me I had a big forehead.
how is that supposed to be? I think it's now seen as an attractive thing, babe. But also,
No,
you
no, no.
don't have big forehead.
He said a flat forehead. It's so messed up. He was like
That's
nasty, like hitting on me in the street. And then I said something back, like, do you have a mother or a sister? Do you really want to talk to me like that? You shouldn't talk back to these people. And he
yeah,
goes,
it's
"Mm,
true.
with your flat face."
Oh my
Funny. I was like,
god. Oh my god, that is so New York as well.
such an a-hole, but ew. Oh, stop.
Also, I'm so sorry.
It's
What
okay.
a
It's funny.
jerk.
It's funny. And he didn't get
Oh my
me, so joke's on him.
Yeah. Oh
Anyway,
my gosh. Okay,
that's
I will do that. I will do that. So this is the end of the soft life of Crystal and Megan. If you like our work, please check us out at ko-fi.com/softlifenyc. Bye.
bye.